Secretary Manny Bonoan ng DPWH. Sec Manny, Merry Christmas po, sir.
Merry Christmas, Ted. Merry Christmas siya. Merry Christmas po sa ating mga taga-subaybay.
Opo.
Happy New Year din po.
Happy New Year. So, Secretary, mukhang busy Christmas po kayo. Dito po nga sa pag-aaral sa budget. Pwede ho ba kami makakuha lang po ng informasyon? So far ho ba, meron pong magiging pagbabago sa budget po ng DPWH?
Pagbabago in such a way na dapat ang palang naman ng ni Presidente is he has scrutinized, very scrutinized all the added projects to the department, and ang palang naman ni Presidente is we have to make sure that the mga projects that may be retained will be those that can support actually yung 8-point socio-economic agenda of this administration. Yun ang ano niya. And, it is up to the President actually to yung mga projects that they need to be reassessed or withdrawn.
Opo. Kasi po, Sec, klaro ho naman di po ba doon sa NEP na ang inyo pong kailangan for 2025 ay 825 billion.
825 billion yung sa age gap.
Opo. Sige po. So, ito nga po, Sec, sa sinasabing nyo na nag-aaral ng Presidente, pinag-aaralan nga yung mga importanteng mga proyekto na dapat talagang tapusin na at simulan. Dito po kasi sa provision ng BICAM, siguro po alam niyo na po ito, sa ilalim po ng inyong budget, yung idinagdag ng sino man po nagdagdag nito na 288.6 billion under various infrastructure projects provision. Di ba, sir, ito na yung pork barrel na ipinagbawal ng Supreme Court?
I think these are the new projects that ang terminology ko these are new projects that had been added onto the budget of the department as a result of the BICAM conference by BICAM process. So, these are infrastructure projects. I would say that some of the projects that had been included there are actually good projects. So, to me, because the 825 billion project, 825 billion budget that we had, we would have wanted more. Actually, kasi marami pa rin pangangailangan.
Pero Sec, di ba sir doon sa proposed budget nga naka-itemize naman doon basically po ang mga paglalaanan. Pero kapag po various infrastructure projects, meaning doon sa BICAM na inyo pong napag-aralan kasama si Presidente, itong various na to, wala pang detalye to, di ba?
Very specific na po yung mga project, Ted. These are line item specific projects actually. As you said, it has just been added to the program. Actually, ito yung sinasabi nga namin that at the end of the day, many of these projects will need to be vetted out kasi hindi pa namin alam kung anong sitwasyon yung mga projects na yan na ina-include.
At the end of the day, these projects must be vetted out.
Titingnan namin. Kasi I think, for example, may mga buildings na included in that area. We need to see what kind of structure that we will have to implement, anong saan nilalagay, ano ang technical investigations that we would need, mga ganun pa.
Opo.
So we have to prepare them also before we implement them.
Opo. Sige po. So Sec, yun po bang mga foreign assisted projects sa ilalim po ng DPWH? Kumusta po sa pag-aaral po ninyo kasama si Presidente?
I think adequately na naman ngayon. I think in fairness kasi sa 2024, all that we had requested for foreign assisted program were also released naman sa amin yung 2024 budget. I think it will be similarly yung arrangement with the Department of Finance and the Department of Budget and Management. Kasi yung foreign assisted projects, yung loan component yan, it is actually about 70 or 80% of the total project cost are funded na from loans actually, and these are already appropriated actually. Meron na source ito, so we don't worry about the sourcing eventually at the end of the day. So I think and meron naman kaming naka-line item na ngayon sa 2025 budget, kahit na partially for the time being, but that's good enough for us actually to operate until the first semester.
Okay, pero sir, yung sa flood control po natin, particularly in Metro Manila, kumpirmado na po iyon na dito po sa dito po sa dito po sa ating inutang sa World Bank, yung 20 proposed pumping stations, naging 4 na lang po ito because of right of way issue, Sec.
Yes, I think that is correct, Ted, because when they nung na-identify yung proposed 20 stations, as I learned actually, when they were prepared or vetted out actually sa field, may mga problema doon sa mga right-of-way. So, ang nangyari dyan, 4 na lang po yung nagriyan ng World Bank to implement.
Kasi nga din po sa right of way issue. Pero Sec, ano pong report ng tauhan nyo on the ground? Hindi kaya ito malaki po ang epekto nito sa flood control natin sa Metro Manila?
Well, I think we would have wanted siguro to have more of the pumping stations, but there are already about 36 pumping stations all over Metro Manila, and I think ini-enhance naman yung capacity nila, and ito yung sinasabi ko na nire-repair at ini-enhance yung capacity nila. I think it could work, and hindi naman namin binibitawan yung mga other pumping stations for as long as we will be able to clear siguro yung mga right-of-way issue.
Okay, and Sec, kung pwede lang maglambing sa inyo, yung pong COA report, dito po sa pumping station, meron dong provision na may mali sa design, yung ilang pong pumping station. Kaya po kapag nabaha, hindi magawa kasi nasasama sa baha mismo yung motor. Yan po yung sinasabi doon sa COA. At inaamin po naman yan ng mga taga-MMDA na siya pong maintenance nitong ating pumping station. Baka lang po hindi pa nakakaabot sa inyo po yung report ng mga tauhan nyo.
I'll take note of that.
Opo. And then Sec, kasi po, di ba ang main issue po dito, mas malaki ang infrastructure budget kumpara sa education. Kung mamarapatin lang po ninyo, if you're at liberty to tell us. So, dito po ba sa dito ba sa inyo pong meeting with finance, with DBM, with executive secretary, at kayo, dito ho ba lalabas na mas mataas ng edukasyon kumpara po sa budget ninyo?
I would not know, Ted. Sorry, hindi masasagot yan. But I think we'll leave it to the economic team actually to determine actually anong levels na yung allocations for its department na. Opo, pero sa dinami-dami sir ng secretary, kayo naimbitahan doon, hindi pa naimbitahan si Secretary Angara o sino man, kayo ang importante doon sa meeting. Malaki kasi yung naidagdag yata sa amin.
Opo. So napag-usapan niyo po, Sec, kung sakasakali ho ba na aalisin tong 288 na dagdag nila, okay lang po kayo?
Well, we'll leave it up to the discretion of the President siguro and the economic team actually to determine up to what level of policy. There are also considerations that as I said, there may be worthwhile projects that we can continue to implement. Doon sa naidagdag. There are many actually that I have seen na pwede namang i-implement. But if you remove it completely, then I think there is also this yung ng economy of the country, because these are the levels that has been projected to support the economic development of the country.
Opo, oo nga po kasi nga labor intensive po ito kapag construction. May tanong lang po si Chacha pahabol po Sec ha. Opo.
Yes, Sec Manny,
Yes,
good morning po. Ano na pong update dito sa Andaya Highway? Sa pinakahuling report, tama po ba isang section na lang ang kinukumpuni ng DPWH sa area na yan? Kailan po natin ina-expect na matatapos po ito?
Yes, Cha, I think we are actually trying to do the best that we can kasi hanggang ngayon nag-uulan pa din sa Bicol, no? Continuous yung rain, yung pag-uulan doon. And at least nakumpuni namin yung one lane and we are trying to do the second lane na. I hope that we can do it before the New Year. Actually, yung segment of yung second lane actually doon sa Lupi, no? Hindi naman gaano kahaba yung stretch but not just the same. I think it's still a challenge for us kasi nag-uulan and we cannot compact yung mga base at saka yung mga underneath yung pavement at this point in time. So yun lang mga pinag-aantabayan namin dyan. If weather will cooperate sana in a couple of days, then we should be able to finish up with
yun nga din po ang problema, hindi yung ma-full blast dahil po dun sa weather. Pero Sec, dun sa pinakahuling mga report, nabawasan na rin po ba kahit papano yung traffic na nararanasan ng mga dumadaan dito sa Andaya Highway?
Yes po. I think the report is actually medyo it still is, meron pa ring traffic management that is being done kasi because it's just one lane po. And we are actually suggesting some alternate routes naman. Pero marami naman yung mga vehicles are using the alternate routes ngayon for the time being. And well, we would like to thank actually Department Ayon LTO and the local government for helping us actually to manage the traffic in those areas.
Okay. Sec, di ko sure kung nakita nyo na po ito, trending ngayon online. Ito pong Biliran Steel Bridge sa may Eastern Samar. Nakikita nyo po yun sa Leyte. Sorry po. Umuuga ng sobra dahil po dun sa lakas ng hangin. O ano po bang nun? Anong dahilan nun?
Hindi lang po yung hangin kasi marami ko yung overloaded trucks kasi that are passing through that bridge. And unfortunately, I think this is an old bridge. It's almost more than 50-year-old bridge actually itong Biliran Bridge. And our assessment is that there are, of course, I have to admit na there are loose bolts already underneath, no? And we need to replace these bolts and tighten them. Actually, yung mga ganun lang. Structurally, hindi naman yung bridge. It's only we need to retrofit actually and replace yung mga some parts of it, actually, including yung mga bolts that have been corroded at nag-worn out na po. Yun ang report nila sa akin kanina and immediately after maka-procure ho kami doon sa mga necessary bolts, then it should not take too much of the time actually to do it actually po.
Do you have to close the bridge, Sec?
No, hindi. We are not considering to close the bridge actually, Ted. Actually, we just have to limit the loading for the time being as we are trying to undertake yung rectification of the parts underneath.
Opo. So, meron ba tayong way bridge na po? Kasi ang daming pasaway sa probinsya, sir. Pag wala nagbabantay po dyan, dadaanan yan. Oo.
Ito nga totoo, Ted. Yan ang problema natin all over the country. Yung mga talagang 70% of loaded trucks are overloaded.
Sino magbabantay, Sec, bago humakatawid ang isang truck na punong-puno ng graba, for example? Well, it is actually a tri-agency effort. Actually, dapat ito. Actually, DPWH should be the one to operate the machines for the weighing. LTO is the police should be the one to traffic, and LTO should be the one to issue the penalties or something. Yung mga ganon. Opo, sige po. At saka yung LGU, kasi pag bumaksak itong tulay na ito, ang laking problema sa ekonomiya po nila. Lahat ito ibabangka na, no?
Yes,
Opo, sige po. At saka yung LGU, kasi pag bumaksak itong tulay na ito, ang laking problema sa ekonomiya po nila. Lahat ito ibabangka na, no?
Yes, Tama po.
Opo, opo.
I hope that yung kagaya nung ginagawa ko nila dito sa Region 3 where they have prohibited actually yung mga overloaded trucks that are carrying sand and gravel, yung mga ganun po. They have already seen actually the damage that is being caused actually by the overloaded vehicle.
Opo, sige po. So, Sec, salamat na marami po sa inyo pong panahon sa aming programa at kami po yung nagagalak na kayo po yung mga kapanayam and muli pong pagbati po namin sa inyo ng isa pong masagana na bagong taon para po sa inyong kagawaran.
Salamat din, Ted, sa pagkakataon at panalangin natin. Sana sa bagong taon, bawasan po yung mga bumibisita sa ating mga typhoons, calamities, at, para maginawa naman tayo ng kapahan.
Opo. Opo. Sana nga po, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.